you actually had that memory, but the perception changes in that memory, and sensations are added to it. Not, it's just so weird to even try to explain something like that because it does feel so, you know, so abnormal. But adding sensations, feelings, perceptions of things you weren't feeling, just to also create this narrative in this persona. And this really, is just is to the point where you don't even wanna fall for any of your memories. It, it, it's all about deception in this.
Able to impose any information on the brain of a person, presumably by some kind of waves, which in the mind take the form of voices, thoughts and images in imagination. In addition to this kind of implanting information that they need, they manipulate the psyche so that the information is written into your memory. Then by stimulating the certain regions in the brain they can retrieve this information and present it as your own memory. This is the conclusion that can be made judging by the influence they have been making on me with their psychotronic weapons, for example artificial thoughts, imagination, and mental torture.
Okay. I just want to say thank you, God. And I know I keep saying that. And I know that it doesn't change what's going to happen to me, but I need to be thankful. And I'd rather lose my words saying that. And this is a video and channel that's not specific to spirituality, but this is at least the least I can do for how I'm able to still have this right perception when everybody around you is trying to get you to accept this stupidity. It's just so much embarrassment. You're gonna see long videos, and I'm gonna make sure that long video, especially the longest one, is well titled, is well described, because if I never speak again, this is the kind of video I want to leave, because it's just too embarrassing. What you hear over there's a background of like a video I'm making about the way they're altering like narrations and storylines, and the way they're changing reality is just becoming more and more obvious. I think it's because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's not about reality. It's been too humiliating. I mean, whatever's gonna happen to me is gonna happen to me, but it didn't happen with me identifying and seeing and finally seeing if, well, being able to see it for the stupidity of what it is. This is what you're gonna hear is about Logan Square. That's the name. And you're gonna, it's embarrassing. And I just put these things in their faces to make sure that they never escape. And I'm so thankful that I'm able to see things for what they are. But you'll see a video down there that's like 3 hours. That one is just like, I don't even need to speak. I could just make videos without me speaking once. It's getting this obvious. And this perps is like they find ways to just kind of like hype themselves up. So we won. It's like, yeah, you're so winner. You prove that you're obviously protecting children, that you're not altering my mind, that you're obviously not forcing me to experience anything, that you are painting a narrative, you who's framing me. It's so pathetic. And they use these children and they're like, oh, we're so validated. Like, at first I thought it was they just try to agitate me, but I think they truly are hyping themselves up to think this way. I think that it helps them stay in character. I'm like, you are so validated. You're so validated. It's obvious that you're not manipulating me. It's obvious that you're painting me in this right way. You who's gonna frame me. Oh, sorry, you dare to frame me. And yet, it's so obvious. And yes, I'm the pedo. You guys protect children. It's so obvious. That's, you guys in this program tend to protect children. that this is your money, and this massive government with this pedo issue has nothing to do with this. Thank you, God. That's why I know you will. They will get theirs. Not today, though. Today, oh my God, the left up villain from a movie that can still not say Roy Moore for some reason. But hey, they've seen me being tortured in horrible ways. But they did it. They won. I'm so thankful. Listen, the horrible, I provoked them so much that the torture that they gonna make me experience is for them to feel better. There's this guy, right? I'm not gonna say his name. Creepy looking guy over there. He's like a child. I'm like, oh gosh, dude. He's like doing his weird fingers, showing me he has hands. Like, ugh, trash. I'm not even trying to mug, but it's just like, ugh, dude. I reassure you, you're such a winner. I understand. And for me, these people will not interact with me. And I wouldn't want to interact with them because they will play this game and I'll be like, yo, my friend, which name should I say to that you can't say? Yeah. I'd rather have, and they're going to torture me in ways to counter that because they've been provoked by the reality of things. Me, respect, like, I'm not trying to be insultive, just to be insulting, but they truly give you the icks too when they do these things. Let me just start with this video by saying I'm a target individual. I'm a test subject. Really, what it means is the government is using me as a test subject to develop this technology. This technology is applied onto us as a weapon, but they're also doing things to our body. I think it helps them to vilify the target individuals to enjoy what they can do with this technology, right? I think it helps them dehumanize the target individuals so they can do these horrible things. Because in their mind, the way they can make themselves feel okay is like, oh, he's a threat to our children. It's like, no, you know who's a threat to our children. Matter of fact, you're trying to turn me to that. They're forcing me to get sexual stimulation toward children. Matter of fact, not even children. People who even look like children, they force me to get stimulations. People who can pass for children, they can make me have stimulation. They force me to have stimulation. The falsified stimulation, I can tell a mile away. They can do that to even women that are with, like, actual grown women. I know when they make me have this false stimulation to the point where it's like, this is not natural. I know this is a grown woman. She's a very beautiful grown woman. This stimulation is falsified. I can feel it. I can tell it's falsified. I can tell that my reactions are being manipulated. I can tell this is not real. It's something like I can tell. But they do that to the babies, the kids. I don't even have to look at a child for them to force me to experience these things. But like I said, at this point, they're hyping themselves up because they're gonna frame me. Listen, it's one thing to dehumanize me, but they're gonna use children to frame me. Are you dehumanizing these children too? I'm telling you, they will not. These people who they're gonna use, these children, are not gonna grow up to be normal. Please understand that there is no way somebody grows up doing these things as a child, functioning normally. There's no way. Something will be really off. Something really off. Just a matter of time how it comes out. And the clownery and the delusionality and how reality has been projected. And the reality is like, we exposed you. No, you've been exposed. Say Roy Moore. Let me repeat that. Say Roy Moore. You've been exposed. These people work for governmental entity that have been exposed for having issue with pedophilia. You've been exposed. You've been exposed for working for a program that caused mass shooting. You've been exposed. You tell me you're gonna frame me. That's not exposure. It's frame. And you get yours for it. Listen to how they manipulate my memories now. I don't know how they stay in character, but they really know you for real. But they still try to paint this story as if it's gonna become real if they act a certain way, if they become theatrical. I remember I moved to this old place in New York City. At the end, I started noticing something is happening. At first, there was a bunch of like extremely good-looking women, like grown-ass women, like they look like they date millionaires. I remember I was like, that's when it's like, I'm not that good-looking. There's no way. Not that I have like I hate myself or think I'm not good-looking, but they were so like out of my leagues. I remember going to this fancy place and I see this. I didn't even look at her. I could smell her perfume, and she started walking, and she started doing this like supermodel walk. That was like, wow, this is like, it's not even without even looking at her, I know this woman is just like so out of my league. The perfume she smelled, like even the perfume, she did this super like, I'm like, my goodness, this is just beyond me. This is a woman who dates millionaires, even billionaires. I could tell. And so there was like women coming showing, but then there's kids. I'm like, oh God, I don't care. This little nothingness. Kids start like forcing themselves to be seen by me. For example, I will go to like my place. I see like two little freaking teenagers with their dog just walking faster than me and just past me. I'm looking up and down. I was like, oh, this is little nothing. What the fuck? And I'm laughing at it. I was like, really? Okay, yeah, it's true. I remember I'm about to hit my apartment. I see two kids, teenage, early teen too. It's not even like 14 years old max, walking in front of me with the dog. And I'm looking at them up and I was like, okay. And then I look at them right to my side and I see, because there was a coffee shop there, and I see a guy who's drinking his drink and watching me. And I'm looking at, because I remember looking, I'm like looking up and down. I was like, and I look, as I'm looking, this guy, he's like, and then he's just like, he's embarrassed. There's nowhere to look. Right? Because it seems like I was like, come on, really? Like, what the fuck is this? You know how they're changing in my brain? Oh no, you looked at them and you felt something. You see, you look at the. I was like, this. You know when you like you like, you look at this like little nothing. So look at this little nothing. In my mind, they're changing. They actually give me stimulation perceptions. That you really like. Oh now you see, you look at the butt. You like they're nothing. You know when you look up and down somebody. Okay, and I look at it. They're changing that, and I'm like, oh, you're such a clown. You live in the illusion of reality, and they make me imagine seeing their butt in this perceptive. Like, I'm like, what? You know when you look somebody up and down, like out of disrespect, and you look, what? And I just look at who's like in the coffee shop. This guy was like, oh, he doesn't even know where to look. He's just. And I'm looking at him like, clown. And now all of a sudden, his guy, he look gay. He tried to be like super gay, like this. I'm looking at him like, okay, this little weak nothingness over there. But they are changing my memories in these ways. One of the most disgusting ways they're changing my memories is about right before August 19, 2019. There was something that happened that was so kind of wholesome and sad, but now I know why they were doing it. I saw a group of little kids, like 10 years old max, 9 years old, and they were walking like, trying to walk like women. And at first, I'm looking, I was like, what the hell? And I started laughing because it's kind of funny. You see this little 10-year-old trying to walk like, and she's like really holding they're holding like their waist and just walking. And I started laughing. It's like, this is kind of funny. You know, it's just funny. They're babies. I was like, why? Like, it's like, are you serious? Like, I couldn't believe they could really paint this picture. And I'm looking at it, and this little black girl just walking. She's really trying to walk. She's trying. And I started laughing. You know how they're changing my memories of that? They're making me imagine seeing the print of her private part, and create this nasty perception. They created this in my head. They saw this guy, a 10-year-old, change my memory in these ways. And like, oh, they'll see. It's like, they'll see. Whoever sees that, I will never identify with these things. That's how they change the memories to have this nasty freaking perception. These things they create. Can you imagine? This is how that's disgusting it is. And this trash they sold to these pedophiles. Live life doing that. It's like, we are war. You're not a war. You're a fucking low life. That's it. You make people think about private part of children and implant that in your memories. And they're like, yeah, you like kids. Trash. Please leave this nasty life. Please leave this nasty life. I always pray that this low life leave this low lifeness. For me, the bad thing is, all I'm asking is, when you do that in front of me, please don't. Please don't. I'm telling you, that moment, you will understand reality in a different ways. Your reality will be erased, and reality will be happening. I'm telling you this, people. I do not even want to go there. Please watch me suffer and get tortured. But if you come this way and play this game because you think if you can act a certain way, this false reality you put together, these ways of making me experience my memories is going to be something identified. Please don't do that. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be capable of that. But these people, I truly equate them to what they're part of. The games they play remotely has to be remote. It's not going to be good if they try to play this in real life. The way they play my memories, I know I'm like this right now, but I'm telling you, life will mean nothing at this point. And I'll see this trash who thinks that in life you can play this game and think it's going to be okay. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be threatening. I just don't want to even be thinking this way. I am not capable. I don't want to be capable, but I think every person have their limits. But they don't understand that I fully grasp the reality of things. That I grasp what they do. I don't care if they use children who can play this game. Reality is reality at the end of the day. If they play themselves to think this is real, that these ways of thinking can be identified, they are very much delusional. You see me tortured and screaming, please leave it happen like that. But if you do this thing in front of me, and you think that your reality is reality, that your reality can surpass reality, you'll be making the mistake. I'm telling you. But you see me scream. You see me all do that remotely. That's my fear. Because when they play this game in front of me, I swear to God, something hits differently. That they will make somebody think about children in these ways to make them imagine and create a memory where private parts of children are imagined in the memories. The perception, this information is added to the memories so they can make themselves believe this false reality they make me experience today. I'm sorry. I don't care, men, women. That moment, we forget life. I hope that you accepted that that's what life is. Because at this point, I don't know if I can get to that, but I don't want to figure out. I don't want to get there. I do not, especially with a low life like that, never. They need to live this long life of waiting for what happens to them. I'll be cheating myself. Because they need to get theirs in the right way. But when this game is played in front of me, I don't know where I'm going to find the strength, but I have to find the strength to control and calm down. But can you imagine that these people are literally forcing you to have this? I've been making video about false memory since 2020. They've been creating this false memory. I remember when they were creating these thoughts, this false memory, it was so disgusting. To make me imagine the private part of this kid that was just like walking like this. And I'm looking at this kid laughing. It's like, and now to make me perceive this kid in a sexual way, they make me imagine her private part. Or make me perceive her that I saw her private part. When she's just a regular kid wearing the t-shirt and everything. It's so nasty. To try to drive a person to think about kids in a sexual way. You know how they do that? You know how you look at... Listen, I'm not perfect. I know my imperfection. I know my perversions. I know. They make me imagine how have a perverse view of a woman, but apply that to kids. Now they do that to my memories. They are looking at how they can change this memory to include information that consists of these perverse ways of looking at these babies. You know, my brain couldn't even before August 9th, my brain could not even fathom this kind of thoughts, or even imagine, even thinking like that. It couldn't even imagine. And the truth is, it's not even possible, but it's so disgusting that my brain can be manipulated to think this way now in my memories. To make me imagine the private part of a child. And implant that in my memories. And wanting me to feel guilty. Because they act like clowns like this. You trash ass. God give me strength. But I'm glad I never let them live the fantasy. I gotta run to the torture. Because I think that even gonna use torture to be like, you see, he's running from torture. No, I gotta run to them. Matter of fact, I have to go to the torture because you're a bunch of pedophiles. That are now making me thinking this way about these babies. To try to paint me in this fashion. The falsification of memories and the reality is to no limits. This kid finally just walking like that. You look at this kid like, what the hell? This baby, what is she doing? Now, to create this perception, it's like making me imagine perceiving this private part, the private part of this kid. It's disgusting. When you were just laughing, it's like, nasty. I will never in my, it is no limit to what they can make you think. This is something I remember doing it. I didn't make a video about it. It was just so nasty. I remember here. And they would try to have this battle because this kid was probably like wearing like a long t-shirt. And she was just like me. So the long t-shirt could have been like was covering everything. But even if it wasn't, my brain would never even think like that. I wouldn't see these things. It would be a child. But they would try to have this battle. Oh, no, but she wearing a long t-shirt. That is like, what? Long t-shirt, no long t-shirt. I don't care. This is what you're making me imagine. There's no battle needed. She was now, if she was wearing long t-shirt, short t-shirt, whatever. The private part. My brain couldn't even fathom this level of thinking about kids in this disgusting, perverse way. But what they're doing is they pick the way I could look at a woman in a sexual way, in a perverse way. Because yes, I have looked at women like that. I'm not perfect. But they apply that into the babies. And this trash, this nasty shit they contracted with the by pedophiles. Like, now we are war, you gonna suffer. I was like, I would suffer every day. Thank you for making me feel like suffering is this dignified. I didn't know. Please live in happiness. I'd rather die in pain. This is your honorable life. This is the life I should decide to live. You're not suffering, right? Okay. Do you think I want to trade places with doing what you do? Try to make people acceptive of memories where you implanted this perception of babies? A clown trash. Do that remotely, because in front of me, everything will be seen the way it needs to be seen. To all my Thai they just stay strong and see this trash what they are. They have no shame. They don't respect themselves. And I'm glad that they live this life. Stay strong, because the false memories will be utilized all the time. They will implant whatever they can. They've done this before. They will continue to do this, and I've been talking about it for a long time now. And it's going to continue to go like that. You actually had that memory, but the perception changes in that memory. And sensations are added to it. It's just so weird to even try to explain something like that, because it does feel so, so abnormal. But adding sensations, feelings, perceptions of things you weren't feeling, just to also create this narrative in this persona. And this really, is to the point where you don't even want to fall for any of your memories. It's all about deception in
to impose any information on the brain of a person, presumably by some kind of waves, which in the mind take the form of voices, thoughts and images in imagination. In addition to this kind of implanting information that they need, they manipulate the psyche so that the information is written into your memory. Then by stimulating the certain regions in the brain they can retrieve this information and present it as your own memory. This is the conclusion that can be made judging by the influence they have been making on me with their psychotronic weapons, for example artificial thoughts, imagination, and mental torture.